Hello and welcome to the channel. It's Irad coming with the latest news regarding Star Citizen, and today we will talk about Star Citizen Alpha 3.22's PTU progress, season cons ticket being sold instantaneously, and the latest monthly report and more. But before, as always, a big shout out to everyone who's been helping the channel by liking the videos, subscribing, joining on Patreon, or even helping sending me to CitizenCon, like Dr. Fabin, who just pinched in $370 in addition to his generous sponsorship on Patreon. We are now 20% in, just a few days within the start of our campaign. I'm pretty confident I'll be able to book my flight ticket and hotel within the next 2 months. I've already bought a VIP ticket, and my plan is to offer you guys the most complete, extensive coverage of CitizenCon possible. And we start this video with the progress made by Star Citizen 3.23 as a new patch was dropped over the weekend, featuring among other interior map updates, notably a better transit between zones, but also some much needed server performance optimization, something that was very much needed based on the experience that I've had with the previous patch, in which servers seemed to die very quickly, causing players to seemingly spend a lot of time waiting for the servers to recover instead of actually playing the game. Showing that is the fact that this patch fixed 12 client crashes, but especially 6 server crashes, and brought a backend service crash fix. I tried playing last night and it worked much better. The only issue I've had was that after a crash recovery, I couldn't do anything. Of course, at this stage, much better is relative because it's still very rough and nowhere near ready for a release to a greater audience. There is obviously still a lot of work to do. Next, let's talk about the Overdrive initiative, which is now in its 5th phase, and it's a delivery mission. If you are interested in this mission, word is that there are some players out there who enjoy hanging at some of the mission's critical locations and kill the players who actually take part of the mission. So here we would recommend you do these missions with a ship that's combat capable and some friends, just in case things get a little out of control. We are never too cautious these days. Also, speaking of Overdrive, there is currently a referral bonus which will run until May the 2nd and will get you a free P-52 Merlin with LTI if you recruit a new player, which you can then upgrade to another ship, making it effectively an LTI token, which is always nice. To get to earn this ship, make sure to share your referral code just like this on screen or in the pinned comment, and if someone uses it to buy a game package at least worth $400 US, not only will they have 5,000 Alpha UEC linked to their account, but you also get the ship, which is definitely worth it. Now, before we talk about the monthly report, a quick note on the CitizenCon tickets, which seem to have sold very well since the start of the sale. CIG seems to have made $1.5 million, and there is no doubt that there is going to have a lot of costs there, including additional extra services. So perhaps with that money, they will hire some more service providers to provide attendees and viewers with the best experience possible. At the time I am writing this script, tickets are still available, including VIP tickets, which I found surprising, but it also means that CIG could be putting additional tickets earlier than expected to satisfy the demand. This week, the monthly report of the month of March was also released, and it featured some interesting information that we will discuss in this video. And the first bit of information that we'll be talking about here is that finally, planetary navigation for AI has been completed, which means that now AI can now freely walk everywhere on planetary surfaces. This is a big milestone for the future implementation of Quantum, as NPCs will now truly have complete freedom to go wherever they see fit, either in space but now on land too. No doubt that the first implementation of free-roaming NPCs will take the form of fauna in Star Citizen Alpha 3.23, but will later be transferred to actual human characters. Speaking of fauna, work continue on animation for the space cow, so it's likely it's going to be the next creature that we'll be seeing in the verse after the introduction of the Copian and the Marok, which were given 3 missions related to the hunting of specimens of their species. You can either kill a defined amount of them, but you will have to find them yourself, or you will be asked to exterminate a predefined population located at the location that will be given to you, or you can also collect some resources from them and return them to a defined location. I think that this is a great addition here to the already existing roster of missions, especially since these are missions that new players will be able to take to get more familiar with the Star Citizen universe. So that's going to be a great introduction to the game for these players who may also use the 5,000 Alpha UEC that they will get from using this referral code by purchasing maybe a rifle that would be capable of shooting long distances as well as short ones, like the Gallon Energy Rifle that you can find at almost every orbital station above the major planets of the Stanton system. Moving on to the art section of the monthly report, and not much was said here unfortunately. I believe that Cloud Imperial Games are holding back as much as possible for some potential Invictus Week surprises or releases. What we know is that work on the grey box of the RSI Zeus is now complete, and that Cloud Imperial Games are now working on processing to finishing the final touches of this ship to perhaps make it flight ready as soon as possible. So the Zeus might be one of those ships that we could see during the Invictus Flight Week. Work is also being done on 10 ships to implement the upcoming engineering gameplay, which seems to be the next major endeavor from Cloud Imperial Games after the cargo refactor. So there's no doubt that we are going to see plenty of updates about this particular aspect of gameplay throughout this year. Speaking of cargo and the economy in general, the teams at Cloud Imperial Games have started working on the impact that crafting is going to have on said economy. Cloud Imperial Games have created an algorithm that is going to make prices fluctuate based on demand but also supply, which is obviously going to fluctuate with how often or not an item is being crafted, either by players or by NPCs. Last month, the team also finalized work on Lightning that you can see here in this footage right here, as it is being implemented in Star Citizen Alpha 3.23. As you can see, there seems to be a major overhaul of Lightning, added more levels of details and being visible from a longer distance. Work has also started on Planet Tech V5, which will notably introduce default planets for the devs to start working with, which is going to considerably reduce the time it will take to create a new planet. Those complaining about the anti-cheat system will be glad to know that Cloud Imperial Games have worked on reducing false positives as part of an ongoing effort to reinforce sanction enforcement. So with that comes the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this channel's content, please consider hitting the subscribe button, as it tremendously helps the channel. If you want to go the extra mile, the link to Patreon is in the description down below. This would get you exclusive access to work in progress video, like an upcoming video that has a script of 61 pages, and any help over there will directly contribute to my trip to CitizenCon, so any help is indeed very much appreciated and truly makes a difference. I also wanted to thank Dr. Frobin, Zero Crusher, Deplorable Fidel, and Ducky to Ducker for their support. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.